Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Fun start. Forgot to put my camera in the camera holder before I push go live. So here we are. Welcome to day 2936 of What's She Up To Now. This is the segment where I document my journey. I share lessons learned, the good, the bad, the ugly, what's working, what's not working, what I'm working on, projects that you may or may not want to be a part of or be interested in. Well, today, of course, we're going through the SOAP framework for the last 3 days, and today we're finishing up on P for progress. You know, how do we know we're filling the gap between where we are and where we want to be with particular challenge or goal that we're working on, that we use the SOAP framework for, to make sure that we fill that gap and that we're doing the things that we know we can do, or that we find out that we can do or get help with, to supersize and grow and build our business. And today is a wrap on that, so I can set that aside. And I am working on direct messaging. I am not a fan of direct messaging people, especially people that I don't know or don't know what's up with them. And I'm getting an interesting taste in my mouth for it, because it's a very powerful tool, and I know that it always has been, but when used correctly. And my problem with it is primarily the way it's been used, the way it's been slamming people with direct messages from bots and chats and things. I just find it not unethical, but so uncomfortable and so salesy, and I choose not to participate in those things. But I'm at a point where I'm growing my school community, and I want to grow my school community. And the only way to do that is to bring in the people that I so want to be a part of that. So if you get a direct message from me about that, I'm offering you a gift and a compliment to say, I think you're awesome. I want you to be a part of this community, because over the last 2.5 decades, I have not had the group of people that I used to have when I worked in corporate America. I spent over a quarter century in corporate America while simultaneously running businesses on the side. And the cool thing about that was I always had a ready team of experts, different functional area experts that I could bounce ideas off of or ask questions, not only for the business we were in together, the job that we were working in, but also the businesses that I had running on the side. And I learned a lot about what does and doesn't work in different industries by doing that, and by having that dual track that I was living. And so now I haven't had a job since 2003, 2004, because that was the point at which I'm like, okay, this is just silly that I'm going to work every day. All right. So we're talking about that, thinking about that. And today's topic for this year's annual challenge, and I'm kind of not merging, I'm doing one for Supersize You annual challenge and one for the Supersize Your Business annual challenge. First time I've ever done an annual challenge in the Supersize Your Business community group. So I'm really excited about it. It's really fun. And I am using AI to create some tools to go along with that. Some worksheets and some action items and some reflective questions and things. I want to set up a structure, and I already had done January when I decided and learned about that that's a possibility. I'm not a very AI person yet. I'm going to say yet. I will always just show up as me. I don't script my videos. You know, I get a topic. This is what I'm talking about today. I mean, it's really rough, right? And then I just talk about that. Why? Well, been around for 6.5 decades. So I picked up a thing or two along the way. And I think I can honestly say I've always learned more from my mistakes than I ever learned from what went right the first time. And so you'll get a lot of that from me. You'll get a lot of, okay, this is what I did. This is what I tried. This is what happened. Now, just because I effed it up and failed miserably the first couple of times I tried it, doesn't mean that you will, especially if you learn the mistakes that I made and don't make those. Guess what? You'll still make plenty of your own mistakes. I can guarantee that. But you don't have to make the ones that I've made, because some of them were super painful, super financially painful, super emotionally painful, super relationship painful, but painful in and of themselves. If not, in some instances, actually physically painful. So we're talking about confidence all this month in both challenges. And our topic today is accepting your greatness. And we're doing that by saying thank you when people give us a compliment or pay us a compliment. And remembering that if somebody compliments us, and I've been super duper guilty of this in the past, is minimizing or negating the compliment people give to us. And guess what? If you do that once, that might be enough to have people never compliment, or that person never highlight or compliment you or your business again. I've had that experience, and it's like, oh my God, I so, disrespected them by not acknowledging that they were acknowledging me. And so we need to keep that in mind in our interactions, because business, just like personal lives, are based on relationships, based on communication. So as part of progress for the SOAP framework, I had to figure out a way to measure my experience with direct messaging. And so, excuse me, I've got that tickle in my throat still. I decided I will track number of direct messages I get and then the responses. And I might just break it down into broad categories. And then I'll be able to prove to myself over time then that I'm filling in the gap between where I am and where I want to be with respect to direct messaging. Will I ever be a giant direct messenger? I'm going to say no. Will I ever AI, ManyChat, or do anything like that with my direct messaging? Heck no. However, I will admit that on my Facebook groups, I have an automatic message set for when people message me, because it's almost always somebody coming in to spam me with their thing. And I will get to those when I get to those. Being visually challenged, sometimes it takes me a longer time to get to those. Like I might be 4 months behind on some comments and things in some areas. All right. Just means I need help. All right. If I can help you anyway, ask. Otherwise, go out, make it an amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.